fishing adventures. As you can see, we're on the boat. Now, it's been rather cold the last few days, so I've not come down to the boat and done any work, purely because it's just too cold. It was at the point whereby anything wet was freezing, and anything that required curing, such as fiberglass or epoxy, was going off literally within seconds of being applied, so it wasn't actually doing anything at all. It was too cold. So what I've done is I've given it a week off, and I'm now back on the boat doing the work today. Now today it's a bit warmer today. We've hit 7.5 degrees, 8 degrees outside temperature, so I'm going to get on with doing some sanding down today and apply a couple of coats of the anti-foul in the spots which need repairing. Now, we did get some bad news on the service of the engine. So on the engine, on the stern drive specifically, there was emulsification of the oil. Now this means water's been getting into the oil, mixing with the oil, which is a big problem. Now, having had it all stripped down now and taken apart, we have found the potential source of the issue, which is a fouled seal. Now this could be in two parts, either a faulty installation or it could just be a faulty seal. We don't really know the full aspect in regards to how it's occurred. All we know is there's a fault in the seal and it's being replaced. Now, also on the inspection of the engine during the service, we also identified that the cable, which selects the gears, when you put the gears in, forward and neutral and forward and reverse, when you're changing gear, the throttle required you to go a little bit extra to the actual gear to actually engage. Now, that is not a big issue, but again, you want the boat to respond as soon as you put it into gear. Kick in after a second or two, or an extra click on the throttle. So the cable's been removed, the new part's been ordered, and that should be getting installed this week. Also on the engine, we have a problem with the supercharger. The problem with the supercharger is it's designed to kick in around 800,000 revs. It kicks in to get the boat up on the plane quickly, and then should kick out at 1400 to 700 revs and kick back out again. So it's not doing that. Now, again, I've not noticed a problem with the boat running the boat up until this point. It's only because it pointed out to me that it wasn't working, it wasn't engaging, that it now needs to be looked at. So that could be one of two problems. It could be a relay on the cable, on the power supply cable, which needs to be replaced, or it could be the supercharger's gone and needs replacing completely so the motor's burnt out. I'm hoping it's not the latter, but we'll find out hopefully this week. I'm going to continue with the anti-foul sanding down preparation work, and I'll do some videos. Right, so that's the first coat on. Close up the spots, I've cleaned up the edges, I've cut it all in, so it's nice and tidy. You can see I've done down the bottom there on the keel. Done a couple of extra marks around here, so I've touched those in as well while I was doing it. And it's just one coat on, just tidying it up. So all the marks that were there have all been covered in. So there's no patches, none of the actual gel coat coming through, none of the undercoat coming through, so it's all back to normal all the way around. I've been cleaning up the water line where we had the water marks from being in the water. Now my boat gets done every year around August. I'll take it out for a few weeks to get it done in August, so it's done fresh for the year and keeps you going through winter, because doing this in the winter is awful. It is cold, it is messy work, and much as you clean yourself off, you still end up getting anti-foul everywhere. And this is the second coat. So I've finished sanding down and I've now applied 2 coats to the anti-foul. So that is now done. So the outside of the boat is now finished. The fiberglassing has been applied. The picture is here. As you can see in the picture, the fiberglass has now been set, so it's now curing. It'll probably need another day to cure before I can paint over the top of it with bilge paint. Now, all that's left now is the gear cable, the supercharger to be repaired, and it can go back in the water. Bring on the fishing.